Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, whatever time it is that you're choosing to watch the COVID moment. David is on vacation. He is at the beach. Congratulations to him and getting to spend some time with Jonathan and Elizabeth. So I offered to step in and deliver the COVID moment. The thing I wanted to talk with the youth about this week is the concept of resilience. Now, resilience simply means the ability to go through something difficult and come out of it on the other side. I am not the most resilient person sometimes. I get so knocked down when things are not going my way, and I think that's true of a lot of us. And I can especially remember when I was in school, man, like a bad grade or a bad interaction with one of my peers, I would just carry that with me. And so I've been working on becoming more resilient, but it's a work in progress. I think, like everybody, we have to keep trying. And so resilience is that idea that we're going to keep going no matter what's going on. There are two quotes I wanted to share with you. One from Winston Churchill, and he said, "If you're going through hell, keep going." Pretty good advice. And the other is attributed to John Lennon, although certainly suggested that he probably borrowed that from one of the yogis that he was related to. But that was his statement that it will all be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. So I like both of those quotes because right now we feel like we're going through some really challenging times. And David's pointed out to us that, this is a time where our faith is tested, and we're going to keep going through it and trust that God has a plan, that He's going to keep working through things. And so I certainly agree with that. But we do have to face the fact that we're going through some challenges. We're going through challenges as a church, not being able to come together. We're going through challenges as a society, dealing with economic, dealing with all of the things that are facing us as a society. We're going through it as individuals. This is one of those things. It's hard. If one more person asks me, "How you doing? How is your day?" then sometimes I feel like I'm going to scream because I don't have an easy answer for that. There's not an easy answer for how you doing right now. So I'm going to invite you not to ask, well, at least not to ask me, "How you doing?" because the answer may take a long time. But we're not the first people to go through struggles, and we certainly won't be the last to go through struggles. And I started looking at people who went through struggles in the Bible. And we're looking at the Old Testament. David, David went through some stuff, and sometimes David went through some stuff because of poor choices that he made. Hey, I can own that. I've gone through some stuff because of poor choices that I've made. But sometimes David was, one time in particular, he was being pursued by Saul, and near as I could tell, David was on the run from Saul for somewhere between 7 and 10 years. Years. And we're complaining because we're under some sort of difficult quarantine for about 3.5 months so far. So you can understand 7 to 10 years. That seems like a lot of struggle. Another person who struggled was Jeremiah. That Jeremiah they refer to as the weeping prophet, or he was brokenhearted because all around him, all he saw was broken systems and people not treating each other kindly or with kinship. It was just a really tough time. And then one person that came to mind, often comes to mind when I'm thinking about people in the Bible, and that's Peter, because I got a lot in common with Peter. One of the studies that I did, Peter was referred to as the disciple with the foot-shaped mouth. Peter was always getting his foot in his mouth. And one time in particular, at the Last Supper, he said, "There is no way, Jesus, I would ever deny you." Not not hours had gone by. It wasn't even a whole day. Denied him 3 times in exactly the way that Jesus said he would. So, Peter, Peter and I got a lot in common. But you can imagine what a tremendously dark moment that was when the cock crowed that 3rd time and he realized how far he had drifted from his intention. Now, like I say, I got a lot in common with Peter. So, what do these folks have in common that we can learn from, that we can learn some of that resiliency from? And each of them kept on going. David kept on going. Jeremiah, great prophet, kept on delivering those messages. And Peter was, the first pope. He was part of the beginning of that early church that we're all a part of. That's part of our ancestors. So we got to remember that even though we may be going through a situation feels like hell, and sometimes it's something big, like a pandemic, or sometimes it's something that feels really small, just some sort of friction between you and a parent, or between you and one of your siblings, and it just feels like I'm never going to get past that. Well, we're going to take that advice from Churchill. If you're going through hell, keep going. This is not the place to stop. If you're driving through Death Valley and you feeling hungry, this is not the place to stop. So wait until you get to the 7-Eleven on the other side of Death Valley. So keep going. The one thing I can tell you is that in the Bible, 365 times, we are told in some form or fashion, fear not. Let's hang on to that and not be fearful. I was researching resiliency, and I found this wonderful prayer poem. And so I'm going to read that to you as we close today. And this is by Emma Palmer. Unlock and reveal to me the secrets and sage memories of my soul, so that I can draw forth the strength of my true being to withstand the turbulence of the unsettled times. Show me how to navigate these human landscapes anchored in courage and strength, truth, compassion, and love. Reinforce my faith of your unwavering presence, ever guiding and ever knowing. Help me keep my heart open when gifts of challenge are left at my door. Allow my steadfast inner strength to find me when I need it most, to find me swiftly, and to show me the ways I can help you find me when I am at my most lost. Prompt me to pull my resilience to the surface in the moments of life where I am laid bare, thrashed against the rocks and disoriented in my own confusion. Teach me not to recoil from the lessons before me, but to rise up and immerse myself in the power of inevitable change and transformation. Direct me in my journey, in my inner listening to the quiet spaces where a force greater than my own resides. I know when I need you most, and I call for you. Your powerful whispers of resilience never fail to echo their sweet wisdom to my soul, and I am once again sustained by the presence of your grace. I have all I need. Nothing is missing, nothing disregarded, nothing pushed away or dismissed. I know that without you, I am alone in this barren land, but with you, I am the land. Send me forth as the warrior that I am. There is nothing I cannot face. I acknowledge and surrender that in the face of challenges I may bend, but I know I will never break. I stand before you now without fear, because your divine voice is my compass, and it is without question that my faith is in you and in me, in all of this, and bids me to move forward, unafraid, undaunted, and valiant to the wisdom that my resilience propounds. And so it is. So hang on, guys. If it's not okay, then this is not the end. See you next week.